Every generation has its own unique set of memories, and for many, those memories are tied to the toys they grew up with. Have you ever wanted a dog but your parents said dogs are messy? You will have to clean up after them, or dogs are too expensive. Well, back in the 90s and early 2000s, toy companies have you covered. As a millennial myself, we had more than a handful of robot dogs to choose from. Forget Furby and Tamagotchi. These robot dogs were the coolest things to show your friends when they come over. Join us as we take a trip down memory lane and explore some of the most iconic pet toys from the 90s and early 2000s. Let us know in the comments down below which pet you owned back then or if you still have it. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this content and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future videos. A glance into the past with Poo-Chi. Developed by Samuel James Lloyd and Matt Lucas, manufactured by Sega Toys, and sold by Tiger Toys, Poo-Chi is a robotic dog toy from the early generations of the RoboPet toy line. Poo-Chi first hit shelves in the year 2000, but was taken off the shelves in 2002. On April 1st, 2000, Poo-Chi was released by Sega Toys. Hasbro's Tiger Electronics handled distribution in most countries, excluding Japan and Korea, where Sega Toys handled distribution themselves, selling for the equivalent of $38 in Japan and $24.99 in the US. Over 10 million Poo-Chis were sold in the first 8 months after their release, making the product a global phenomenon. Soon, limited edition variations of the Poo-Chi appeared, including the trio of Domino, Little Dipper, and Oddball-inspired toys that were sold during the 102 Dalmatians holiday special. The original Poo-Chi was gray overall, but its ears, tail, and leg joints were one of 4 bright secondary colors: purple, blue, pink, or green. The toy has 4 legs so it could sit or stand and a red LED display for eyes so it could convey different expressions. The limited edition Christmas Special Edition Poo-Chi came in red and white with snowflake embellishments on its torso and ears and had an interactive bone. The toy's music library was modified to incorporate seasonal selections. Boxed Christmas Poo-Chi units fetch upwards of $30,000 from collectors due to its scarcity. The special edition was only sold in a small number of countries for a short period of time, 2 to 3 months. This was due to the fact that production was capped at under 100 units. Poo-Chi communicated using a variety of recorded barks, whines, and growls. Toy's technological constraints meant that most sounds were represented by beeps rather than an actual sound effect. Poo-Chi also had a button on its head that could be pressed to have it bark music. When the light sensor in its nose was active, the Poo-Chi could sing one of 6 tunes when the touch sensor on its head was pressed. Poo-Chi is incredibly stale by today's standards. The dynamic little dog, however, ushered in a new and thrilling era in which our toys could interact with us in meaningful ways. It might not look like much at first, however, Poo-Chi entered human history at a moment when optimism about the future was on the rise. The dawn of a new era has arrived. In a brand new digital millennium, one in which computers and robots would play a significant role, altering our outlooks, emotions, and even our favorite pastimes. Of course, as time went on, the world would alter significantly. Still, that dog toy never failed to make us laugh and give us hope that everything would turn out okay. Tekno the Robotic Puppy. It is a well-known electronic toy that was first introduced to the market in the latter part of the year 2000. Tekno was successful enough to sell more than 7 million units during its debut season, and it went on to sell more than 40 million units during its first run of manufacture, which lasted for 4 years. Tekno was able to win prestigious accolades and garner extensive media coverage as a result of his vast popularity. This coverage included newspaper pieces, television and film appearances, and a standalone feature that was featured on the cover of Time magazine. It possessed around 160 different feelings and functions in all. Tekno's most fundamental forms of entertainment consisted of walking, barking, eating, and sleeping, and the use of sophisticated motor sensors gave the robot emotions and lifelike intelligence. It was able to be taught to respond to voice orders and execute real canine skills such as retrieving objects, whining, and playing tricks with the bone and ball accessories that were included in the package. Tekno was also equipped with the capacity to grasp visual commands and to react to environmental stimuli. Thanks to this technology, Tekno was even aware of when it was appropriate for it to go to sleep on its own. Tekno was introduced in the fall of 2000 and sold at retail for a price of $39.99. It was developed by Bob Del Principe, Brian Dubinsky, and designer Gary Lanis. A nationwide television commercial campaign, traditional public relations, live talk show appearances, and the establishment of the Institute of Robotic Technology were all components of the marketing activities that were undertaken to promote the field of robotics. Sega's iDog. The iDog is a robotic dog toy that was introduced by Sega Toys in Japan during the mid-2000s iPod craze before being brought to the United States by Tiger Electronics, a Hasbro company. The first iDog toys went on sale in 2005, and the final one did so in the year 2009. The original iDog features a jack that you were supposed to put your iPod or other music device into, which would make it bounce along to the music you were listening to and serve as a speaker for the iPod's audio. Additionally, it featured 7 LED lights on its eyes that would illuminate in response to the music you were playing for it to signify how it was feeling. Additionally, it was a virtual pet that you could feed with music and affection to keep it content. It would take a new personality depending on the type of music you played for it. Different animal-themed color schemes, improvements, and alternative versions were also created. The multicolored LED display that is available in frontal view is one of the more remarkable features of the iDog. Certain tones cause certain colors to appear when you stream music through his tiny, monoback-mounted speaker, and beats cause head and ear movement. You know those incredibly pricey colored wall lights that react to noise that your friend might have? This capability is provided by Sega's iDog on a tight, if dimly illuminated, budget. Robot Pet Aibo. Sony's Aibo won't wake you up at dawn. It won't utilize its internet connection to broadcast the morning news or its cameras to detect intruders. Voice commands can play playlists, make reminders, or order slippers on Amazon. This unique robot pet dog doesn't work like conventional smart home devices. Instead, with sensors, cameras, and a wagging tail, it will roam around your home for company. Today's Aibo differs from the 1999 model. Sony redesigned and smarted Aibo after its 2006 discontinuation. He utilizes artificial intelligence and advanced learning to recall 100 people and understand what makes them happy from their reactions. With a head, chin, and back rub or good words, Aibo adores praise. Watch him follow voice commands and learn tricks. The dog uses his front cameras and sensors to identify his pink toy ball, bone, and charging station and detect people. A camera near his bum points to the ceiling to map your home, so he learns to navigate. Japan got Aibo first, with the US First Litter Edition. The $2,900 US model includes a 3-year AT&T cell phone service plan. Aibo offers wireless internet. Also, he can use Wi-Fi. Aibo was a beautiful creation. A $3,000 robot dog isn't for everyone. It will never be as gratifying as playing with a real puppy that loves you. But you can't replace actual pets with robots, and Aibo won't be as good as a dog. The point of Aibo isn't that. Sony's robot shows how far our robot can entertain and be a buddy. The 1990s saw the introduction of electronic pets and other forms of interactive playthings. It also coincided with the decline of Atari's consoles and the meteoric growth of Sony and Nintendo systems. Barbie remained the most popular doll, and her message of women's independence was widely disseminated. The availability of computers and the internet also increased. Most millennials were still children when the 2000s rolled around, so they saw many of the toys they loved as kids in the 90s get updated or completely redesigned. In 2001, Apple stunned the world with the introduction of the iPod, while Microsoft entered the race for video game console supremacy with the launch of Xbox. In the 2000s, most children's toys were electronic or had an electronic counterpart. What other toys, if any, would you recommend? Leave a comment below and let us know.